Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Africa Down Under. My name is Bill Repard, and I'm the convener of this conference. I wish firstly to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting on today, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and to acknowledge their elders past, present, and emerging, and also to the contribution they have made and continue to make to this region. Well, on behalf of my colleagues from Pay Dirt and Gold Mining Journal, a very warm welcome to Africa Down Under 2022 and to Perth, Australia's mining capital. It's been a long 3 years since we last met as a group of Australians and Africans here in Perth and with others from other parts of the world to talk about and discuss some of the success stories by resources companies across the African continent. During this time of lockdown, lock in and lock out, we kept the flame alight by hosting virtual conferences and meetings. However, one has sat through, like we all have, many or too many webinars. I think there's nothing, we all have to agree, there's nothing better than getting together, talking and doing business face to face. On that note, a very special welcome to the African ministers who are with us in Perth for the next 3 days. And to your business delegations and government colleagues, some of whom in Australia for the first time. We really appreciate the effort that you've made to engage with our African partners and investors, and it's heartening to have countries represented here from both established and emerging markets. Well, apart from the impact that COVID has had, obviously, communication and travel, it'd be crazy not to say that a lot has changed since we last met. The rapid evolution of the battery and critical minerals sector and the role that it will play in Africa's energy transition. And also Australian skills and expertise are set to play a big part in this emerging sector, both at company and government levels. And I would suggest there'll be a great deal of discussion on the subject of critical minerals over the next 3 days. COVID may have stopped us from meeting as a group, but it certainly didn't cease the amount of activity or slow anything down with Australian companies' determination and ability to get the job done across the African continent. In just the past 2 years alone, West Australian Resources completed its first mine in Africa, in Burkina Faso. Perseus Mining commissioned its third mine in Africa, in Côte d'Ivoire. And as we'll hear later in the day, are looking at new horizons in Sudan. Sandfire is close to commissioning its first mine in Botswana, and Tieto will be pouring gold at its mine in Côte d'Ivoire by the end of the year. And there are lots of other success stories. Leo Lithium is emerging as one of the largest lithium developers in the world in Mali. Sovereign Metals with its massive rutile reserve in Malawi, and Ionic Resources with its very new and exciting rare earths project in Africa, in Uganda. So this has all gone on while the world's been in lockdown. Achieved, of course, at personal cost to some of the weather becoming unwell with COVID, whether it's time spent quarantining, weeks spent quarantining in hotels, or time spent away from loved ones and family for long periods of time. It was nevertheless a time when there was great increasing reliance on local workforces, which threw up opportunities opportunities for African business operators and service providers to play a far bigger role in the development of new projects. Sorry, fingers never work when they're meant to. The role of government and the assistance offered by both African and Australian government in opening doors and facilitating projects is reflected here today by the large number of ambassadors, both African and Australian, who are with us for the week. And thank you also, DFAT, for your support for the sector here and on the ground in Africa. Likewise, at state level, we're very grateful to the WA state government. I'm not sure if Bill Johnson's here this morning, but the WA government have opened their doors to visiting delegations, and they've often shared their data and good advice about regulatory practices, which has resulted in WA being one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. Africa Down Under also plays a key role in Australia's Africa Week, and we're delighted to be hosting and supporting a number of side events this week with various Australian African groups here in Australia. We have AMPAA and APA will be holding seminars. The industry group AMEG will hold their annual awards during the week, as will OACWA, the community group, who will hold their annual awards here at this venue on Saturday. For football, and I mean the World Game, fans will getting an opportunity to come and watch the ADU Cup tomorrow afternoon in Wellington Square. And it's a fun afternoon for those who get time to escape. There will also be other side events, conference side events during the week, including working lunches on South Africa and Ethiopia, seminars with Australia's Telstra, who offer a wide range of service in Africa. But most important, ADU is all about people catching up, meeting, talking, and doing business at all levels. And as I said earlier, this will be our 20th edition of a meeting that started very small. However, we're very proud that ADU has evolved and grown into an event that has and hopefully will continue to make a big difference. On that note, a conference like ADU simply could not happen or couldn't have grown or been sustained without the support of our friends who have stayed with us through good and bad times. And I refer there to the sponsors, exhibitors, and delegates who've attended year after year. I should mention there are a few that were here from Genalysis from the very first year. Carl Simic, who will talk shortly, who was at our first conference. So many have stayed on the road for 20 long years. So in summary, thank you to all those who have supported us.